have no anti-aircraft equipment. Their radar, he said, is 100% annihilated.
We'll continue to follow this story and bring you the very latest. Governor Cox says the president has officially requested $1 billion for the Great Salt Lake. We told you back in February that President Trump was working with the governor on a way to, as he wrote, make the lake great again. Governor Cox posted on X today the president is now asking for $1 billion in federal funds to do it. It's unclear where this money's coming from or what needs to happen to get it approved. And coming up, the sun is back. KSL Weather's next. KSL News Time, 11:01.
Reminder about the simplest way to get updated for your day.
Hit your KSL preset when you jump in the car, and we'll take care of the rest.
Hear key news updates and traffic reports.
Andy and Amanda from 5 to 9 in your car.
KSL News Radio at 102.7 FM.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Most financial advisors only manage your money. They refer you out for taxes. They refer you out for estate planning. They refer you out when things get complicated. Did they really vet that person? Or did they meet once, exchange business cards, and call it a partnership? A referral isn't accountability. It's a handoff. When your investments, taxes, and estate plan are built separately, gaps happen, and those can cost money. At Trajan, we didn't build a referral network. We built a family office for all. Wealth, tax, estate. One team delivering coordinated planning, once reserved for the ultra-wealthy. If you want real coordination and not just introductions, call Trajan Wealth today.
Call Trajan today at 801-207-9900. That's 801-207-9900. 801-207-9900. That's 801-207-9900.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Right now, water heaters are on sale at Any Hour Services. Schedule a free estimate today to see how much you'll save. Google Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhourservices.com.
I'm Congressman Mike Kennedy. For years, Utah families have paid too much for health care, groceries, and everyday essentials. I'm fighting for health care reform that puts patients first and lowers costs. I'm also working to cut waste, fraud, and abuse in Washington because your tax dollars should be spent wisely. Fiscal responsibility means lower costs and a government that works for you. I'm Mike Kennedy, and I'll keep fighting for Utah families. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Now streaming on Angel, The Parables of Jesus, the Good Samaritan, is a powerful cinematic retelling of Christ's parable set in a fractured first-century world simmering with turmoil, suspicion, and quiet hostility. Told through intimate performances and moments charged with moral tension, The Good Samaritan draws viewers into the weight of each choice and the cost of Christ-like love. It leaves us with the Savior's enduring question that confronts every generation: who is my neighbor? Experience The Good Samaritan today with your family. Now streaming on Angel.com.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 9s, brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans at UCCU. Here's Ricky Meese.
A pretty nice drive on all the Valley freeways, including I-15 both directions between Ogden and Provo. The exception is a disabled vehicle. It's on the ramp, the off-ramp from southbound I-15 at Highway 6 Spanish Fork. 2 right lanes are blocked. You can get by on the left, but expect a little bit of backup. Whether you park it, stripe it, or pave it, GoPave Utah has your blacktop covered at GoPaveUtah.com. That's GoPaveUtah.com. Call or visit GoPaveUtah.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
A high of 49 today with partly cloudy skies. Things begin to warm up tomorrow. We'll see sunny skies and a high of 67 on Sunday for Easter. Right now it is 39 and mostly cloudy. I'm Claire Scott from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Listen online at kslnewsradio.com. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Lights, camera, action. It's the KSL Movie Show.
Today will not be known as Taco Tuesday. It will be known as Freedom Friday.
The week's big movie review, movie news, games, and prizes. Here's Andy Farnsworth and Valerie Cameron.
So, how long is this going to take?
You can't rush art.
On KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
Welcome to the movie show. Andy Farnsworth and Val Cameron were broadcasting from Sound Sleep today in Sandy with a massive movie that already, as I'm looking at Val, I've been getting emails from the studios with the box office updates. Our big movie this week has already earned $59 million in 2 days. That was just Wednesday and Thursday, and we don't even have today. And tomorrow, it's doing very well.
Huge.
It's already bumped Project Hail Mary.
I mean, we knew that was going to happen for this weekend.
We did know that, but it's a bit of a shame because Project Hail Mary was so good. But our big movie this week is called the Super Mario Galaxy movie.
There's a huge universe out there with a lot of galaxies.
Mamma mia. I demand that you release my father.
Over my dead body.
Fine with me.
Everyone calm down.
You know, having done an actual in-person interview with Charles Martinet, the original voice of Mario, when he came to FanX a couple of years ago, and that they wouldn't let him do any voices in the movie, the only thing he's gotten was one clip of him doing "Here we go" or "Woohoo" or something that was in the video game that they had.
Woohoo!
Yeah, he got to do that once in the previous movie. But if Chris Pratt's going to do the Italian accent, if you're going to have Chris Pratt be the voice, just don't have him do any Italian accent at all.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
That's what I agree with you. I think a lot of us do. I just pretend that it's not him. That's what I do. You know what you said, though, Project Hail Mary, it's not gone forever, but both of these movies are in space. So I love it because now we have Mario
accessible
in space.
to all ages.
Yes.
What a shock that you can make a lot of money
right?
when you make something accessible to all ages. All right, so this in Super Mario Galaxy movie, Mario and his brother Luigi are teaming up again with Princess Peach and Toad, their new friend Yoshi. Is he a dinosaur?
He's
lizard?
a dinosaur.
Is he?
Yes.
But he's got a tongue like a frog that he can grab
he's
stuff with.
He's his own kind of dinosaur.
But this time they're all teaming up to save Princess Rosalina from the bad guy Bowser's son, who is very helpfully named Bowser Jr.
This is way more fast-paced, both in the animation and the humor and the music. Everything is just zoom, 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 zoom the whole time. Your kids are not going to get bored. But at the same time, I feel like there's more of a story. There's more heart with the story this time than there was in the first one. I know the first one we had peaches.
Yeah, nothing. There was, by the way, there was no song in this that approaches peaches.
Yeah, don't. There is a song, but you have to go to TikTok to hear Jack Black sing it. I heard it this morning, unfortunately.
Oh, really? Because I was going to say, there wasn't one in the movie that I remembered.
No, he's just on the TikTok singing his songs that he makes up, and there is one about this movie. But it really leans into emotional storytelling, and then with all the zoom, zoom, fast, fast, bright, everything.
And I don't think you can understate how much zoom, zoom, and bright there is
so many zoom,
in
zoom,
this.
and so much bright.
So when I sat through the first Super Mario Brothers movie, I wasn't allowed to take a guess. This was 3 years ago. And I really think that kind of soured my feeling in watching the movie because I just thought, this isn't a movie, if I didn't take the kids, that I would necessarily go see. And so the second time I watched Super Mario Brothers movie, and I'd had some time to think about it, and then I watched it with my kids, then I enjoyed it a lot more. So this time when they said no guess, I'm like, fine. And I went and I bought tickets, and I took 3 of my kids yesterday, and I had a way better time watching it, sitting there with them and watching what they reacted to and being able to make comments that were deliberately ignorant so that they would roll their eyes at me. But then there was some genuine questions like, I don't know who that is. And they're like, they're a playable character in Smash Bros. That they would tell me. So I realized.
So they're educating you.
Correct.
Love it.
Which just doesn't happen very often with pop culture type stuff. But I'm starting to now hit that upper age where now there's stuff happening that I just can't keep up with anymore. But
no!
So I actually felt like there was a better story from start to finish, and kind of what you were saying, because we don't have to reintroduce Mario and Luigi and Peach and all those characters, we can jump right in. But because they introduced so many more things and they referenced so many different video games, I actually had to go on the internet afterward and be like, I vaguely recall there was something about Mario and Paint, and there was a Mario Paint game on the Super Nintendo, but then Mario Sunshine is where Bowser Jr. was using Paint to like create monsters and stuff. So there are all kinds of if you've played basically any Mario related game, there's some kind of reference to it.
Do you remember when it originally came out and we had the cartridges that we put in, and if they overheated, you had to take them out, blow in them? That was my brain halfway through the movie. It was overloaded by things that I needed a little reset because there were just so many things going on at one time, and I wasn't sure if
so did
it
you
was
have your husband blow in your ear?
No, it was me by myself. So I was like, who can do this without being creepy? But no, so I'm sitting there by myself, and I'm luckily there was a child in front of me with his mom, and he's holding his Yoshi, and I'm like, okay, this kid's here for the right reasons. So I was kind of waiting for his reaction to see, like, am I not getting it? Is it just, because it's too much for me? Am I now in this age bracket where it's at the too much level? And he was just sitting there so quietly, like taking everything in, and there were some laughs and everything, and then I hear some laughs off to the side from some of our critic friends, and so I'm like, okay, like this is for everyone. There were moments in there that we got to see, stuff from when we were a kid. I loved it when they jumped into those different sections, and so I think they're playing to everyone. But for me, it was an overload of stuff. There could have been 2 movies made out of the stuff that they crammed into this movie.
I would say for adults who are not, former video game players that would be looking, because, when I hear music drops from the games that I played so many times and heard so many times, even when they were only just like a couple of bars from it, and then they would go into the original score, but I was like, I know that tune. Oh, that's the Waterworld tune.
They're keeping you
right.
in it.
And
yeah.
So, but for people who aren't, then I don't know why they would go to this unless they were taking some kids with them. And so I would recommend go watch it with kids and have fun and watch them have fun. And that way, like, you don't feel like you're missing anything if the visuals overload. But some of the voices were good. I mean, we had Glenn Powell. We had Luis Guzman. Princess Rosalina what was her voice? It was Brie Larson.
Yes.
Actually, I didn't realize that till the end of the movie. So I'm like, wait, who's Rosalina? So good talent. I think one of the Safdie brothers was the voice of Bowser Jr. The voice talent was good. It was a little bit more interesting. It's pretty chaotic, but I found myself enjoying it. And by the way, there is a mid and a post-credit scene. So if you go and don't get the kids out of there
You're going to
early.
have to tell me because I missed those. So you're going to have to tell me those.
But I'll tell you off the air. Okay,
yeah.
I was like, I don't want to spoil everything. And there is a cameo from a video game character that doesn't have anything to do with Mario. Actually, it's not even a cameo. It's like a pretty key role.
I actually questioned myself. I'm like, wait a second. This character's in the games?
I will tell you this. It is not Sonic the Hedgehog.
No.
That would be too much. That would be like Who Framed Roger Rabbit when Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse were on the screen at the same time. We are not to that point yet. But it is a character that anybody who played video games in the mid-'90s would immediately recognize, and that was kind of cool. And I assumed that was like a big spoiler, and then I found out that that Nintendo online put out a character poster for this character.
Oh, okay.
So I thought that was a big secret, but if Nintendo's putting out a poster of it the day before the movie releases, it can't be that big a secret. But I'll leave it for the people who want to have the surprise.
So what did you think?
I gave it a B-.
Okay.
Which, remember, B is good, C is average. This is not quite good, but better than average.
Well, guess what? We agreed on this.
What?
We agreed.
Nice. Woohoo! Super Mario Galaxy, rated PG. My 3 youngest kids enjoyed it a lot. They actually, all 3 of them said they think they liked it better than the first one. So that is the teenage kids' opinion of Super Mario Galaxy movie, our big movie of the week. Still to come on the movie show.
Mario Galaxy!
That wasn't me.
Still to come on the movie show. Oh, I cannot wait. The next 2 movies that we're going to talk about theatrically are both I really enjoyed for very, very different reasons. and I can't wait to tell you about both of them, but we'll do that when we come back. However, right now, we've got to talk about something super important with our friend Mandy Nelson from Sound Sleep, because this offer that you guys have today of a free sleep screening and a free sleep consultation to those who call and schedule an appointment during the movie show, beyond being entered to win an awesome gift basket prize, it's so important to understand what's going on, because the effects that sleep apnea can have on you can last the rest of your life if you don't correct it.
Right. And I was reading that 25 to 30 million adults in the United States have obstructive sleep apnea, and only about 6 million of those are diagnosed or know that they have it.
That's not a good percentage.
No, it's not.
We got to do something about that, man.
We do. Yeah. So today, give us a call. We're offering you a free sleep screening where you can come in and pick up a test and take it home with you, sleep with it in the comfort of your own bed, and find out if you do suffer from sleep apnea. So people might be wondering, well, I don't know if I don't stop breathing, if I stop breathing, but a lot of the big, what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway.
Indicators?
Yes. Thank you. Signs. Snoring. Morning headaches is a big one. If you wake up a lot throughout the night to use the restroom, it's not really because you drink a lot of water before bed. It's usually an apneic event that's waking you. So,
not going to lie, thought I had issues with my prostate for a while.
People tell us that all the time, and then they'll come in a few months later after they've been using their appliance, and they're like, I'm not waking up anymore. So
I was like, woohoo! Everything works like it's supposed to.
Yes. So today we're offering the free sleep screening and then the free sleep consultation with one of our sleep specialists. And then for anybody that calls, we're going to do our Sleep Better gift basket. It's Easter baskets, right?
Perfect.
Yeah. So
now
you'll
be entered to win this.
Entered to win, yes. So you'll get a purple pillow, a Minky throw, and a $50 Amazon gift card.
So gifts, baskets full of treats if you're the lucky winner. But really, everyone who calls and makes that appointment is going to be fortunate. And that's the most important part. Chest tightness, that's another. If you wake up with chest tightness, if you find yourself falling asleep or drifting off, driving but also at intersections. That was one that I was surprised when that was a list of the questions. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I remember thinking I was going to drift off, and I was stopped.
I remember being stopped at a stoplight, and somebody was in front of me, and I know they had fallen asleep. I was like, what do I do? Do I go wake them? What do I do? There's all this traffic, and you know that they're asleep. Scary.
You honk, right?
I guess, yeah.
Well, if you want to make that appointment and take advantage of this offer from Sound Sleep, you got to call 801-716-8672. That's 801-716-8672.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that can make your savings go twice as far in retirement, and it's tax planning. That's right. Tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 801-896-9622. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be six figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 801-896-9622. 801-896-9622.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice. Advisory services offered through Boss Retirement Advisors and SEC registered investment advisor. Insurance products and services offered through Boss Retirement Solutions.
It's spring. You get outside and it's obvious your house needs painting. Make an appointment with CertaPro Painters. They'll give you a free estimate quickly and at the right price. And they make the entire process easy with reliable updates and communication. They know how important your home is to you. True professionals, they're committed to quality and exceptional service at the right price. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated, so schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.
Attention Jazz Nation. We know you've been waiting on the edge of your seat, and the time has finally arrived. All tickets are available now. Let's go! Your favorite players will be back on the court, bringing the energy all season long. Whether you're looking for season tickets, mini plans, or single game matchups, there's a perfect option for every kind of fan. Show up loud and proud at Delta Center this season. Don't miss your chance to be part of the action. Buy your tickets today at UtahJazz.com.
Only one type of burger. For every pallet. Fries are extra. Large in size. We've got the shakes. Going over the brim.
Hey, this is Chris from JCW's. Put a positive, delicious spin on your day at any one of our 5 locations. In Lehigh, American Fork, Provo, South Jordan, or Harriman. JCW's, quality and a lot of it.
I no longer wanted to live.
From rock bottom.
I went back in my house and I got high.
Dave asked me if I love my mom. Absolutely, I love my mom. And he says, well, I'd hate to see how you treat people you hate.
To redemption.
They were able to look me in the eye and tell me the truth and not let me run from it.
No government money, no insurance, just people saving people. Witness the power of The Other Side, Saturday at noon on KSL.
The Movie Show. The Movie Show on KSL News Radio.
The Movie Show, broadcasting from Sound Sleep in Sandy. We've got our big movie of the week, which is going to blow the box office away, which it already is. It's the Super Mario Galaxy movie. But we have 2 other movies opening in theaters this week that, Val, you were saying you found a thread to connect them. I'm looking forward to hearing how you connect our 3 big movies this week, our 3 theatrical releases. But in this segment, let's talk about A Great Awakening.
Whom the sun sets free is free indeed!
Have you ever heard a voice like that? The blast from heaven.
Benjamin Franklin.
Reverend Whitfield, partnering with me would guarantee the maximum benefit to your cause.
A match made in heaven.
Or just a deal made in a print shop.
So this is one that'll connect to the America 250 celebrations going on this year. It's not an official one or anything like that, but it's called A Great Awakening, and it tells the story of the relationship between founding father Benjamin Franklin and the Reverend George Whitfield. Now, it's spelled Whitefield. In fact, they even kind of play off that in the movie where Benjamin Franklin's son or grandson's like, who's George Whitefield? He's like, it's George Whitfield. And then when I saw the name spelled out, I get why he did that. But the 2 met when this fiery preacher, Whitfield, comes to Philadelphia in 1739. And Franklin realizes that this man's visit could help sell his newspapers. He'd heard tales that this guy could speak. And this kind of connected with me as a radio person. He'd heard that he had talked to crowds of, 15,000 people. And he's like, nobody's voice can reach 15,000 people. That's impossible. And then he lines up on Market Street. He stands on the steps of the courthouse, and with the way that the people are gathered, with the buildings, and with this booming voice that you learn in a little bit of a flashback that he developed as an actor, George Whitfield, before he went into the clergy, he does. In fact, Benjamin Franklin goes all the way out to the docks and is like, I can hear him all the way out here. And that begins what you could consider somewhat of an unlikely friendship, because Franklin considers himself a man of reason. In fact, he describes himself as a deist, a friend to all religions but member of none. And then you've got Whitfield, who is a passionate preacher, beyond just the booming, but he'll get people that throw stones at him. He'll absorb physical abuse. And he explains why he's willing to do it is because he loves them and he's committed to God. And he goes through all this. And these 2 have a friendship while one is trying to get the other. He wants Franklin to fully commit to God. And Franklin's like, hey, man, let me be.
But he leaves that space open.
Yes, it was actually pretty cool. There is a scene in here. One of my favorite underrated movies last year was called Freud's Last Case, or Freud's Last Patient, or I can't remember. Yeah. And it had C.S. Lewis and Sigmund Freud arguing passionately their positions, respectfully, and each one giving a case for their side that is reasonable and moving, and each one respected the other. And they have a scene in this movie between Franklin and Whitfield that I felt was very similar, and I really appreciate it. I really enjoyed watching this movie.
If you love anything about American history and just the development around that time period, that's what really pulled me in at first, because I just love that time in history. But then you have like this self-identity like Franklin is kind of going through, and how.
And you get a little bit of Franklin's past in some flashbacks too.
You do. And then how are you willing to stand up for people that you believe in when they don't quite fit into what everyone else wants you to believe? That was also in there. And so he's kind of got this back and forth of where he is in the government and where, the world is at that time. And then you've got this passionate preacher who not everybody is in love with. Not everybody wants him around, So it's just kind of that, who can be around? What is the cost of change? Because Franklin, you see him a lot. Like, do I want to change the way I do things, or how does this make me feel with everything else that I believe in? So it's kind of this self-reflective movie, and you're sitting there thinking to yourself, almost asking yourselves like the same question. I love movies that make you think about not only the characters on screen, but like, what would you do in that situation, and who are you, and what would it take for you to change or go across the line you didn't think you would cross?
I agree with that. And this story is told in a couple of segments. It's set around the time of the Constitutional Convention in 1787, yes. And then a lot of this is told in flashback, and so that you see the history of George Whitefield, you see some of history of Ben Franklin. But what I liked about that is it allows you to see why each person comes to their debate together the way they do, why they have their point of view. That's what I feel sometimes is missing in debate from today, is the willingness of one side to consider, why would this other side, what could have brought them to this point of view that's so different from mine? That's why movies, I think, are so great, is they give us this ability to stand as a third person and watch this debate without necessarily having to either defend yourself or attack or anything like that. You can just watch the two things, and that's the way my brain works, the kind of the analytical side of it. But Franklin recognizes the effect that Whitefield had on the entire country, even though there were people that stoned him and that didn't want him around. But he sees and writes about it. That's why it's called a Great Awakening, is this Great Awakening prepared the people for the revolution, and then the self-governing that's now up to 250 years.
And this is another one that I want to say the cinematography is going to lead you through the film, because there are certain scenes in the film where they use light to make you feel like they want you to feel the characters are feeling. When you walk out of the building in Philadelphia and Franklin walks through those doors and the light shines through as he's having like this, again, big awakening and this big thought about what's going to happen in the world, to me, I was like, oh, I was like, this is really cool, because the costuming was really cool. I feel like a lot of the character actors and the casting was really good. There were a few kind of cheesy moments in there and some cheesy acting. But all in all, it was enjoyable. The only complaint I have is that when they introduced us to Alexander Hamilton, there was no in the room where it happened. I was waiting.
He did not sing one
not
time.
One time. He
when
was just
he was
angry.
On screen.
All
and neither
the
did George
time.
Washington. No, but for me, honestly, and there was a couple of cheesy parts. I was impressed by the way that they were able to create the look, or at least what felt authentic look of 1700s. Which obviously they don't have like a full budget that maybe a big Hollywood movie would, but they did a great job with it. I didn't know any of the actors, but I thought all of them were, good in their roles. I gave it a B+.
This one's a solid B for me. I don't know that I need to see it again, but I would definitely tell other people that like this type of film to sit down and watch it. I don't think you don't necessarily have to see it in the theater. This can be an at-home watch and you would enjoy it just the same.
It's called A Great Awakening. And I would say if this is the type of movie that you wish to see more of in the theater, you should go see it in the theater and support it so that they get the message. This is the type of content that you'd like. It's rated PG. Actually, I think it's rated PG-13 officially, but I don't recall any particular thing in it that was pretty, other than some of the violence that he goes through when he gets stoned and some of the other stuff.
There might be more violence in the Super Mario Brothers movie. Like it's just it's just not animated.
It's true.
In this one.
All right, that is A Great Awakening. A B+ from me, a B from Val. It's in theaters. We're broadcasting live from Sound Sleep, and we've been talking with Mandy about the way that Sound Sleep is offering a way to correct sleep apnea without the use of a CPAP machine that blows air in. You were talking earlier how that blows the passage open that is closing, which is why you're stopping breathing.
Right.
But instead, yours doesn't have that effect. How does it work?
So it's just a custom fit mouth guard, basically. Think of it like bleach trays that we do 3D imaging here in the office. So it's an accurate fit to your teeth. You just it goes on your top and bottom teeth, and then it positions that lower jaw forward a little bit to open the airway naturally. So if you think when they do CPR, they do a chin thrust to open the airway, same type of concept. We're just positioning that jaw forward millimeters to open that airway so that you can sleep better.
Now, when I corrected my sleep apnea, I went from 65 per hour, which meant was more than 1 a minute, down to 4.
Yeah, I know. Crazy, huh?
Yeah, and that's the kind of dramatic things that this changes. So that I was stopping breathing to some extent more than 1 time per minute on average.
Yeah.
Got it down to where it was once every quarter hour, and they were also a lot less severe moments too.
Yeah.
So the first night I woke up with corrected sleep apnea, I was like, I forgot how this felt.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people that come in, they're like, I sleep fine. I do great. Well, that's their norm. Then they start to treat it and they're like, oh, so I should be dreaming a lot? So I shouldn't be waking up?
The return of dreams that come from correcting sleep apnea.
It's crazy.
We'll talk about, it is covered by most major medical insurances.
Yes. Yep.
And so we'll talk about some payment. But right now what you got to do is you got to make that appointment during the movie show. You got to call 801-716-8672. That's 801-716-8672. You get the free sleep screening, the free consultation, and if you schedule that appointment and you got to show up for it, you're entered to win a gift basket on the weekend of Easter.
Yeah, so that's just, you're entered to win that, but we're also going to throw in movie tickets if you do come to your appointment today.
Wow, look at that.
I know I'm in a giving
Andy,
mood.
We
I
love
know.
it.
I love you,
801-716-8672.
11:32 at KSL News Radio. I'm Claire Scott. KSL's top story this hour. A new date has been set in the sentencing trial in the murder case that goes back more than 40 years. Doug Lovell was sentenced to die for the 1985 rape and murder of Joyce Yost, but his sentence has been overturned on appeals twice. His new sentencing trial was supposed to start in August, but it'll now start in February to allow new defense attorneys in the case to get up to speed. Yost's murder is the subject of Season 2 of the Cold podcast. Our top national story this hour from ABC News. U.S. job growth bounced back in March after a steep decline in February. ABC's Jim Ryan says the economy had about 178,000 positions last month.
With a strike ending at Kaiser Permanente, 35,000 workers were back on the job, contributing to an overall gain of 54,000 healthcare jobs in March. The construction, transportation, and warehousing sectors rounded out last month's job creation, while positions were lost in financial services and the federal government.
Economists say they expect to see grocery prices start to rise on the heels of oil and gas prices. Your money at this moment, the market is actually closed today for Good Friday. And coming up, sunny and 60s on Easter Sunday. KSL weather is next. KSL News Time, 11:33.
The sources where we get our news matters.
When you listen to Utah's Morning News, we want you to feel the stories are important to you and trustworthy. This is Amanda Dixon.
And I'm Andy Farnsworth. Join us weekday mornings on KSL News Radio.
We finally realized something.
We wanted more time for family, faith, and service.
And less time giving every Saturday to the house.
At Ovation Homes, active adults 55 plus can enjoy beautifully designed, low-maintenance homes in a welcoming community built for this season of life.
More peace, less upkeep.
And more time for what matters most.
Learn more about Ovation Homes' newest communities in West Point, Syracuse, and Layton. Visit ovationhomes.com. That's ovationhomes.com. Your best years start at Ovation Homes.
Let's be responsible.
Yeah, absolutely.
That counts.
Safe, secure, and built for comfort. With locations in Syracuse, West Point, and Layton. Downsize without compromise. With a home that truly fits your lifestyle. To learn more and see all the amenities, visit ovationhomesutah.com. That's ovationhomesutah.com. Your best years start at Ovation Homes.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles. Drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products, and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. It makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
We have locations in Farmington, Riverton, and Sandy.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 9s. Brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big. UCCU, love where you bank. Here's Ricky Meese.
A nice and quiet drive on the Valley freeways. We do have road crews out working to mend an unexpected spot in the road. And this is emergency road repair in Murray, northbound on State Street, about 5900 south in the right lanes. Create your floral sanctuary with Olson's Greenhouse, locally grown premium quality flowers. The perfect complement to any space. Cheerful flowers for porches, patios, containers, and beds. Visit Olson's Instagram or OGG.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Highs are back up to the 60s this weekend and then 70s next week. Today, partly cloudy and a high of 49. Right now, it is 39 and mostly cloudy. I'm Claire Scott from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Listen online at KSLNewsRadio.com. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
The Movie Show. The Movie Show on KSL News Radio.
Well, sorry, I was embroiled in an article where Brian Cox is ripping on everybody he's ever worked with.
What's happening?
And I think he's apparently turning into his character on Succession. No, he rips Edward Norton, Margot Robbie, Ian McKellen, Johnny
Ian
Depp.
McKellen?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I think he's reached, I don't know. But we've got a movie in this segment of the movie show. Andy Farnsworth and Val Cameron broadcasting from Sound Sleep today in Sandy. A movie that I walked into not knowing anything about, and I walked out of not sure if I liked it or not. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I didn't know if I liked it.
So many questions.
But the more I thought about it over the night, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Well, it's called The Drama.
So you're saying Charlie is your first love?
So I want to say this thing about her laugh.
So before we got married, we did this thing where we said the worst thing we've ever done. Okay, Are you serious?
Yeah, the trailer had to cut out some stuff because they don't, and we're not going to give away a very key point of this movie. We can't before you see it.
Yes, we're not going to. The Drama is an A24 movie, but it's not one of their explosive, really odd movies that they have. It is more of a character-driven movie, and it's a relationship with Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. Of course, their characters are Emma and Charlie, and they're an engaged couple whose relationship implodes right before the wedding because they play a game where they ask each other, what's the worst thing you've ever done? And Zendaya's character Emma says what hers is, and that triggers a spiral of doubt in everyone, including her fiance. And I don't.
Yeah,
they say
they play it with the best man and the maid of honor. They're having their wine tasting
and it's
leading
wine
up to their
induced,
wedding.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, okay, well, let's do that. I'm going to share the worst thing I ever did, but everybody else has to do it. So like, okay.
I always think that's trouble. Like, nobody ever really wants to hear it. They just want theirs to not be the worst. And that's exactly what happened at this evening. And it just made everyone, especially Robert Pattinson, who plays the fiance, is how do I really know this person?
Mm-hmm.
And if even though I know this about this person, do I really love this person? And that to me is just like so reflective. If you tell the person that you love the deepest, darkest thing about you, will they still love you? Or do you keep it a secret and just hope for the best?
That they never
that
find
they
this
never
out.
find out, but do they really know you? I believe we all have a secret or two that we just don't even ever need to tell anyone. But this was kind of a big deal. But I think that everyone else made it worse. No, for me, nobody really reflected on why this was maybe the worst thing she ever did. And that was frustrating to me throughout the entire movie, is that they were focusing on the surface part of it and not really about why or what or who or when or like and how she is now, you know. And I can't tell you what it is, but it is the most interesting and most, I think, innovative storyline that I've seen in a long time, because it's never been brought up, but it's out there floating in the world.
Yes. When you see what it is, you'll understand part of the reason why we couldn't tell you. I know this. I hate doing this.
And we're talking
It's
about
so
the drama,
cryptic.
because it is drama.
But what fascinated me about this, and I have to give credit to the director, because it was the writer. The director was also the writer, and I just want to make sure I get who that is. Christopher Borgli. This is what I thought was so fascinating about it, and why the more I thought about it, the more I liked the movie. Every reaction you have to each of the person's darkest secrets, and then how they're reacting to each of the person's darkest secrets, you're justified in however you feel. But Borgli, I thought, fascinatingly gives you one more bit of detail about each person. So when you're sure that that person is right about their opinion or wrong about their opinion, he introduces one more little fact that makes, wait a minute,
hold on,
I don't know, and I have to reconsider. And so that's what made this movie stick with me so much.
Well, and you're asking yourself while you're sitting there, would you be okay with this? Would you get past it? How would you get past it? What if, you know, what would you want people to do if this was your deepest, darkest secret? And, you know, it says it's a dark comedy. There were maybe a few funny parts, but to me, it wasn't really a comedy. And I would have to say, do not go Google the drama, because it will tell you what the deepest secret is, and I don't want you to know. I want you to go into the drama not knowing these things, because that reaction is what you should have. You should have the same reaction as the people at the table playing this game and going through that whole like emotional roller coaster.
One thing I will say that I think might help just a little, because it took me a bit of the movie before I figured out this is what was happening, is, and this is also something I liked about it, my brain is the kind that focuses on things. The way it's set up, however it's wired, it's benefited me sometimes. It's been a detriment at other times.
Same for us, Andy.
It starts playing through all these different scenarios. So there's moments where it's what the character's imagining is happening.
Yes.
But you don't know that in the moment, and then it switches back, and you're like, oh, okay. So just know that there are going to be some moments where it's an imagining of scenarios or what is happening versus what is actually happening. My daughter came out of the theater. She went with me to see it, and she asked me about a particular image and scene that had played that she didn't see the companion to it. She thought it was a preview of something, and it wasn't. And I was like, no, that was one of the characters visualizing that would happen. And so that just, if that helps a little bit, because I was a little bit confused the first couple of scenes where it was, oh, that was that character just imagining that.
Yeah, and I love the element.
But it captured how my brain works.
It captured it, and again, you're questioning yourself, which you should. But they use an element of childhood in this, because a lot of things that we think of that we did, we were younger. We were in our younger years, you're right? Hopefully we've learned better and we don't do those things now. But they utilize Zendaya's character as she's a kid, and they kind of bring you through how her fiance would think about her growing up, and like what was in her mind, and who is this person the same person I'm married to now? And I love the way that they did that and visualizing that and having these two different aged characters at the same time. I really loved that element of it. Again, it's very, very thoughtful, and you're going to walk out of it and you're going to want to go somewhere with whoever you saw this with, and you're going to want to have conversations, which to me makes such a good film.
Agreed. I do need to give a content warning for language in some sexual situations, but I highly recommend this to a certain audience. The audience that wouldn't bother for the language in the sexual situations. Well, maybe that was not appropriate to tell on the air, a funny thing during the movie. But for me, I give this an A-.
Yes, we are. Oh my gosh, are we matching all day long?
I don't know. It looks like we're pretty close.
We didn't even plan this out, and we're matching.
All right, that is called The Drama, and it is rated R. And again, for the adult audience, wow. I couldn't stop thinking about this. It was not an A- when I walked out of the theater.
What was it when you walked out?
I don't know, but it
You don't
wasn't
know.
an A-.
Yeah.
And as I told it, and I was trying to explain to people, like people I thought might like it, and as I described it to them, the more fascinated I became with it. So I don't know how many times I'd ever watch this again, but I do highly recommend people have this experience once.
I really want to know, if you go see it, like message me. I really want to know people's reactions because it's so unique and it's so just intimate in a way and so fragile in a way.
So if you go see it, text us in next week's movie show, 57500, if you saw the drama and what you thought of it. So that is The Drama with Robert Pattinson and Zendaya. We're broadcasting live from Sound Sleep today. And now we got to stop talking about movies for just a minute to talk with Mandy about sleep apnea. And it's funny, we were talking earlier, and you talked about how when you've helped people correct their sleep apnea, they're like, dreams.
Mm-hmm.
If that's a sign that you've got sleep apnea, is if you're not having or remembering dreams, because your body's not making it to the REM sleep.
Right. Yeah. You're constantly waking up throughout the night. You might not physically be waking up, but your body's waking up all throughout the night.
It never lets it fall deeply enough asleep.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. And, you know, when that happens, some of the long-term side effects, which we haven't really talked about a lot yet today, is, you know, high blood pressure, heart disease. We did talk about dementia from those, you know, white cells that build up in your brain with your oxygen dropping at night. But long-term, it's just all things you don't want to have to deal with as you get older.
But here's some good news. Some of that damage, if you've already had some, is reversible.
It is reversible.
But you got to correct it.
Right. Yeah. So you got to give us a call. Come in and see if you do have sleep apnea.
801-716-8672 is the number to make an appointment. And so Mandy's like, you know what? We got to help these people out. So let's make it as easy as possible.
Yep.
These were objections that my dad had, and I never could get him to take the sleep test.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to sleep not in his bed.
Yep.
And he didn't want a CPAP machine.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not going to do either of those things to you. You're going to sleep in your own bed with our sleep screening. So it's a very easy machine. You just come pick it up. Takes about 5 minutes to set it up for you. Pick it up, take it home, sleep in your own bed with it, bring it back the next day. You'll get to sit with one of our sleep specialists. They'll go over the data with you, and then we'll talk about the oral appliance, which is a custom fit mouthpiece, so you don't have to wear a machine.
Now, what if somebody's been on Amazon and seen that they can just order an oral appliance on Amazon?
Yeah, don't do that.
What's wrong with those?
So they're not custom fit. You can really mess up your teeth and your jaw. You really want to have a custom fit and adjustable one because it is about fine-tuning and finding that right spot to keep your airway open.
Before I discovered Sound Sleep, my wife bought me one. It wasn't a bite one. It was this thing you're supposed to like stick your tongue in it.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't work for nothing.
You just
and
woke
my
up with a
tongue
numb
was sore
tongue.
in the morning because it was dry.
Tongue swollen.
And I slept horrible. I took it on a camp out because it was a pot where I couldn't take a CPAP or even like a portable. And that's the other thing. If you have a CPAP, you can take it on a camp out if you want to lug a 50-pound marine battery with you.
Right.
But this was a hike. So I learned the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
The costly way of buying something and then finding out that it didn't work. But this is covered by most medical insurances.
It is. Yes, we're covered by most medical insurances. We do also have financing options, and they're HSA and flexible spending
so you've
approved as well.
So you've solved all the issues.
Yeah,
That's
it's
perfect.
easy.
So there's no reason not to call Sound Sleep at 801-716-8672. You only get the free sleep screening and free sleep consultation if you call during the movie show, though. So you have till 1 o'clock to give them a call at 801-716-8672.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that can make your savings go twice as far in retirement, and it's tax planning. That's right. Tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 801-896-9622. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be six figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 801-896-9622. 801-896-9622.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice. Advisory services offered through Boss Retirement Advisors, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products and services offered through Boss Retirement Solutions.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage the big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Sign up for KSL Text Alerts. Get breaking news and traffic updates by texting the word news to 57500. Want access to exclusive contests? Text contest to 57500. Jazz fans, text the word jazz for breaking jazz updates. And Cougar fans, text BYU to 57500 for the latest on the Cougars. Message and data rates may apply.
Make sure that your home's heating and cooling systems is in shape for whatever the season will bring with expert and community trusted service you can rely on from Call Climate Services. Industry-leading products, outstanding service, and customized comfort is what you can look forward to when working with Call Climate Services. Call Climate Services has worked hard to achieve and maintain premier dealer status with Lennox. This status is achieved with specialty equipment training and customer satisfaction ratings of 4 stars and above. Offering a wide assortment of Lennox equipment, Call Climate Services will ensure your family's home comfort system needs are met. Call today at 801-298-4810. That's 801-298-4810. Or visit Call Climate Services online at callclimate.com to learn more about how you can experience the premier dealer difference today at Call Climate Services, 801-298-4810. Dealer license number 358-234-5501.
This is Derek Miller speaking on business. Plato Media Company helps organizations produce successful events by managing the technical production, audio-visual setup, and behind-the-scenes logistics. Their team helps ensure conferences, meetings, and live events run smoothly from start to finish. Event producer Michelle Kennedy joins us with more.
If you've ever planned an event, then you know how much is riding on the day going well. Months of planning, and it all comes down to a few hours in a room full of people. The last thing you need is something going wrong with the tech. At Plato Media Company, we make sure it doesn't. We're a Salt Lake City-based event production and audio-visual company. We handle the sound, lighting, visuals, and crew, everything that makes a live event actually feel the way it's supposed to. Our clients come to us when something important is on the line and it can't fall apart. We show up prepared with high-quality equipment and run a seamless show so that the only thing people remember is a great event. The next time you need speakers, mics, lights, projectors, video cameras, LED wall, or staging, reach out to our expert team at Plato Media Company.
From planning to production, Plato Media Company ensures Utah organizations host seamless, unforgettable events that connect people. Discover their services and how they support Utah businesses at platomediaco.com. I'm Derek Miller with the Salt Lake Chamber, speaking on business.
The KSL Movie Show Top 10.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The Movie Show Top 10 is sponsored by Call Climate Services. From repair to replacement and installation, callclimate.com. Our top 10 movies at the box office this past week, plus what Val and I thought of them if we saw them. And why do I say if? Because number 10 is Forbidden Fruits, and
didn't see it.
Neither one of us saw it.
Nope.
That made $1.2 million. Number 9, Undertone. I didn't see that one. Val, what about you?
I liked it. It was very different, and I would say you could wait until it came streaming for me.
Would you want it in your home, or would you rather have a drive home from the theater so that you can remind yourself that it's not actually happening at your house?
I don't think there's a win-win on this. Either way, I'm scared, but maybe at home with like some friends or your partner and
or you
some
can turn
popcorn.
on all the lights.
Yeah.
While you're watching it?
Yeah.
Watch it in the daytime,
Why are you doing this to me right now? I see what you're doing. I don't like it.
So why don't I shut my trap before you put your foot in it?
Let's move on to Goat, which is so cute.
Yes, I actually really liked Goat. That is still playing. That made another $2.2 million for $101 million domestic in 7 weeks. Steph Curry voices a giraffe, which I always thought was just hilarious by comparison. That one's probably going to drop out of the top 10 this week, I think, especially with Super Mario taking all the kids' money. Number 7 is Scream 7, $2.6 million for 119 in 5 weeks. It is, I think it's past some of the Scream records, and I believe, let me just check my movie news. I believe that they have now, we got a Scream 8 that's approved. The Zuckerman sisters are going to write the script because Scream 7 has now set a franchise record with $200 million worldwide. So Scream ain't done.
Fine.
We're going to get number 8. Number 6, Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, $4.1 million. That's a huge drop-off from the $14 million it made in its first week.
There's so many horror films out right now that it's just too many.
Yeah. Did you like Ready or Not 2?
I thought it was really fun. I thought it was funny.
Okay.
You didn't love it.
I didn't love
that. Would be a good video game movie.
That would be a great suggestion, actually. In fact, the same thing with another one that's on our top 10 list. There's actually one of the ones that I wrote down. We'll get there in a sec. Number 5, Durandar, The Revenge, the Indian cinema, which made another $4.6 million, so it's made 23 in 2 weeks. One of these days, I'm going to have to check out one of these Bollywood action movies.
You need to. So fun.
Number 4, Reminders of Him. 3 weeks, $42 million, another almost $5 million last week. I like this the best of the 3 Colleen Hoover novel adaptations. I like Micah Monroe. I thought the story was, I was able to not feel at any point like, oh gosh, this is so ridiculous.
It was surprisingly relatable.
Yeah. So that's Reminders of Him. Number 3, They Will Kill You. That's the one I think would make a video game. In fact, when I was watching it, I thought this is like a video game. I kept waiting for like the A button to appear on screen in the middle, like when they say like you press the button to do this action.
I don't know what that means.
Well, it's a video game kind of a thing, but I'm thinking specifically of what's the HBO series, The Last of Us.
Oh, okay.
You get to a part on the screen and you've got to press this button, and then the character goes into like another cutscene.
I'll have my husband explain that to me later.
That's true. Ask him that. But there's a scene like they're crawling under the floorboards, and one is chasing the other, and you got to go this way, and can you get out of the way in time?
Loved the show, never played the game.
It felt, well, there's no game. I'm just saying it would have been.
I was still on Last of Us. Sorry, you got me with the Pedro in my mind. I can't get rid of it.
Pedro Pascal. No, I was talking about They Will Kill You.
Yes, okay.
It
Back
made
on
$6
track.
million in its first week. That was good for number 3. Hoppers. In its fourth week, $142 million, made another 12. That's when I think it's going to see a bit of a drop-off. But I'm telling you, don't sleep on Hoppers. It's worth going and seeing. We actually had a listener who texted in because our question of the week, which we haven't talked much about, is what movie have you watched that you think would make a great video game? One of the listeners was like, Hoppers.
I think it would. I didn't even think about that.
You
Good
could
job.
play a lot of different characters. It'd be really funny.
That would be fun.
But yes, I liked Hoppers. And again, it's a Disney Pixar movie. And then number 1, and this is what 2 people have texted in suggesting would be a great video game, Project Hail Mary.
Can I be Rocky every time?
You could, for part of it.
No,
you'd have
the
to be,
whole time.
You'd have to be Ryland Gosling Grace.
Would you, though?
I feel like that only Ryan Gosling could have been it because his name is practically the character's name, Ryland
I
Grace.
feel like it is. And this was my A++++++. I do think this is going to go down now for at least 2 weeks of being number 1. I do think Mario is gonna hit the next 2 weeks in the number 1 spot.
Yeah, but it is worth it. And I know people who are finally getting around to seeing it for the first time. I also know people who can't wait to see it a second time.
I am going, yes.
That's why this is going to continue to do $177 million at the U.S. in 2 weeks. And it was, I want to say, 400 worldwide already. I'd have to double check on that because I don't remember exactly. But that is our movie show top 10. Now, before we go to break and news, traffic, and weather, our movie show question of the week is, what movie have you watched that you think would make a great video game? And your responses have been coming in. A great movie that would be a great game, according to this listener, would be Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That's a little bit of a throwback.
That's fun.
That's from Ben. Terrence McFarland is along with me. John Wick, but he also says there's a PS5 game in the works. We got one person who suggested The Fugitive, play as Richard Kimball or Marshall.
Ooh.
Dirty Harry.
These are all really good.
They might have a video game for that. Stay with us. We've got big streaming coming up next.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
12 o'clock at KSL News Radio. I'm Claire Scott. KSL's top story this hour. Utahns are getting letters letting them know they have a little over a month before their voter information is no longer private. Until this point, Utah voters could choose to keep their voter information private, but a law passed this last legislative session ended the practice. Now only a select few who qualify as protected voters will remain private. Deputy Director of Elections Shelley Jackson says this change happened as a result of frustrations from the parties.
The parties, the candidates were very upset that they felt like there were huge gaps of Utahns not appearing on their lists when they made the request.
Now, a candidate can request voter information that will include full names, party affiliation, elections participated in, and a voter's full mailing and residential address. Our top national story this hour from ABC News. It's day 2 of the Artemis mission to the moon. The 4 astronauts soaring through space are preparing to take photographs of the dark side of the moon, and so far, everything is going according to plan. More from ABC's Andrew Demert.
NASA also says the far side of the moon will only be partially illuminated, so there could be shadows that stretch across the surface. But astronomers are actually hoping the conditions could enhance the view of things like ridges, slopes, craters, often difficult to see under full illumination.
The crew is expected to reach the moon on Monday. And coming up, the sun is back. KSL weather is next. KSL News Time 12:01.
Mornings are for recharging.
And they're for starting your day right.
We volunteer to join you in the car. Get news and weather at 102.7 FM during the most important part of your day.
Andy and Amanda, each morning between 5 and 9 on KSL News Radio.
Not sure how to tackle your taxes? Are you sweating the small print? You may be experiencing FOMO, the fear of messing up. The answer? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it with a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. It's time to take your taxes to the max. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We want to talk about SOTA Diet and Nutrition. SOTA stands for state of the art. And Andy and I both let go of massive amounts of weight. You more than me.
70 pounds in 5 months.
And I did 37 pounds in 3 months. And what worked for me was so many things. Talking to a nutritionist every week and having her tell me what to eat. I can do as I'm told.
Yeah.
But I have no clue where to begin.
And I needed the help too. It's just food. There's no pills, no injections. So you learn how to both let go of the weight and then how to keep it off.
So SOTA Diet and Nutrition is a great place to start. But if you started with pills or medications and you find yourself starting to gain some weight back, SOTA Diet and Nutrition is a great way to learn how to have a new relationship with food to go into the future.
You can talk with a nutritionist by calling 866-800-SOTA, S-O-T-A, or you can go to their website, sotadietandnutrition.com.
Join now and your partner joins for free. 2 people, real accountability for the price of 1.
Join us for a short time to have results that last a lifetime.
Now streaming on Angel, The Parables of Jesus, the Good Samaritan, is a powerful cinematic retelling of Christ's parable set in a fractured first-century world simmering with turmoil, suspicion, and quiet hostility. Told through intimate performances and moments charged with moral tension, The Good Samaritan draws viewers into the weight of each choice and the cost of Christ-like love. It leaves us with the Savior's enduring question that confronts every generation. Who is my neighbor? Experience The Good Samaritan today with your family. Now streaming on Angel newsradio.com.
Since 1947, Whipple Service Champions has been Utah's most trusted name for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical services. Got a high-priced repair bill from another company and you're just not sure about it? Call Whipple. Get a free, no-pressure estimate or bring us their quote for an honest second opinion. Totally free. Whipple Service Champions, Utah's first place for second opinions since 1947. Call 385-273-7167 for your free estimate today. 385-273-7167.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 9s, brought to you by UCCU. Earned 4.24% on savings at uccu.com. Here's Ricky Meese.
You will see some of the usual construction backups on Pioneer Crossing, where we have the delays. It could be either direction, especially by Mill Pond Road in Lehigh. I-15 traffic rolling along and looking good. We still have right lanes blocked with emergency road repair in Murray. This is on State Street at 5900 South. Common Spirit Hospitals, clinics, and caregivers, all connected to advanced health care in Colorado, Kansas, and Utah. Healthcare with human kindness is here. Hello, human kindness. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
A high of 49 today with partly cloudy skies. Things begin to warm up tomorrow, and we'll see sunny skies and a high of 67 on Sunday for Easter. Right now it is 43 and mostly cloudy. I'm Claire Scott from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Listen online at kslnewsradio.com, we're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
It's The Movie Show streaming reviews on KSL News Radio.
All right, Andy Farnsworth and Val Cameron broadcasting from Sound Sleep today in Sandy. And not a huge selection of big streaming items. I know that there's some that are kind of niche that some people will appreciate. Others may not really care about one way or the other. But let's talk our big streaming review. I guess there were 2 Netflix releases this week that were both true stories about athletes, kind of true crime-ish related kind of a thing. Let's start with Untold, the death and life of Lamar Odom.
911, where's your emergency?
We need an ambulance. With any delivery, please.
Lamar Odom found unconscious at a brothel.
Multiple strokes, brain damage.
I had 12 strokes and 6 heart attacks. That's not no average.
Yeah.
Always eloquently put by Lamar.
This is tracing his life from his rise into the NBA to his marriage with Khloe Kardashian, and then, of course, to what they just talked about. Khloe is my favorite. I don't even want to get into it right now, but his near overdose at this Nevada brothel. So he has
knew Lamar already, but not from his NBA career. It was from his appearances on Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Well, they had their own show. So when they got married, very quickly. They got married very, very quickly. They met each other, and then it was one of those marriages that then it went all over the tabloids of how long is this marriage going to last kind of situation.
Like Chris and Kim?
Yes.
Wait, I don't know that.
It lasted, how do you know that? Yeah, it lasted a lot longer. They got their own show, and I think that's kind of where everything kind of brought itself full force there, because Lamar's always been a bit of a partier. He's always had quite an extraordinary life. He became an NBA, just a basketball star in general, very young. And then, he figured out, I want something outside of basketball, and I really like this idea of the Kardashians. My wife is, married to this family that's on the air. They got their own show. Khloe is now discovering kind of who he is behind closed doors, and not great, and she even admitted being an enabler into some of these things that he liked to do that she wasn't really into. But she is probably one of the most empathetic Kardashians out there. She takes care of people.
Are you just saying that because she's your favorite?
No, I mean, she is my favorite because she is so empathetic.
Okay.
So I don't know if you know this, but they were almost divorced. She had filed for divorce from him, and it wasn't finalized yet when he overdosed. And because it wasn't finalized, she went to the hospital, and she was basically in charge of his care. His father almost got him shut off of life support. She went up there and said, "What do you want?" He said he wanted $100 and a pair of Nikes, and then he went on his way. She nursed him back.
That was what Lamar Odom's father said, was
if you
give me these 2 things and I'll walk away from my son.
His dad is not the best dad out there, obviously. Okay. So she saved his life, literally. She nursed him back to health. And then he filed for divorce, and they hadn't seen each other in a really long time until her show recently. So this is, I mean, the drama. Talk about the drama.
Goodness.
But there is a lot to unfold on, and I honestly, at the end of this documentary, don't think he may have changed his life all too much. I saw him in, the Kardashians recently when he reunited with Khloe, and he would take her back in a minute, and if she ever went back, we would all just go stand in front of her.
Because of her TV show or because of her?
I think he literally was in love with her and realizes what he ruined. And I hope he is also fixing the relationship with his kids. Not their kids. They don't have any, but he has kids with a previous
Wait, an
relationship.
NBA player has kids with multiple different partners?
Just one.
Oh.
He's actually in the minority with just one. Don't text us and get mad. It's a statistic.
So that is called Untold: The Death and Life of Lamar Odom, because he was dead.
Yeah.
For a short time.
Yes.
And yeah, you heard him in the clip. He's not dead. He was only mostly dead.
Yes.
If he was all dead, that's another story.
Again, maybe a good video game? I don't know.
The Life of Lamar Odom. All right, so that is TVMA. That is on Netflix. And then I was able to see, I didn't get to see all of it, but I saw The Truth and Tragedy of Mariah Wilson. This is a documentary also on Netflix, about an hour and a half. You may never have heard of Mariah Wilson. She was a mountain bike, and I guess they call it gravel? No. Yeah. A graveler. Something like that.
Okay.
It was a term I had never heard of before I watched this documentary, and I'm sure the people who are cycling enthusiasts of different kinds are already going to text and tell me what the difference is, which is good. I would appreciate that. I could look it up, but if you can text me, that's even faster. But she's up and coming. This documentary gave me very similar vibes, at least through the first part of it, with Threshold that I watched a few weeks ago. It was about the Olympic cross-country skier.
Yeah.
She was battling eating disorders. In this case, Mariah is making that same kind of meteoric rise, except for then the day before a race in Austin, Texas, there's a 911 call, and she's found dead, shot to death in the bathroom at the house where she's staying. And so this becomes a true crime thing. So you're getting to hear from Mariah's family. You get to hear from Mariah's best friend. But you watch, this is how Netflix does their true crime a lot, is they put this out. If you knew the story, like it didn't necessarily go in this exact order, but Netflix plays it out so as you introduce to these different people, you wonder, are they the suspect? Is this person the suspect?
Oh.
Then they introduce the people eventually to where if you just watch this and you know nothing about it and you go from start to finish, you get to who did it or whether the crime's been solved or not. But as you're watching it and you don't know the story, you wonder, oh, is it the friend? Is it this guy that she'd been on a date with? Is it her ex-boyfriend? All these different questions. But then, if you'd watched how the actual story had played out, it may not have played out in that order. It is very interesting. It's heartbreaking that this young cyclist, life taken, and the lengths that the person who actually committed the murder went to both make it happen and try to conceal it. Again, you have to be a fan of true crime. But I actually...
Or just good storytelling. I feel like it's good storytelling here, but also sad because it's based on a true story.
And that's what I would say this is the redeeming quality of some true crime podcasts, is her life was tragically taken, but now lots more people are going to know about her.
Right.
They should have gotten to know her because she was winning these mountain biking events. But instead, we'll at least get to know her this way. So the killer couldn't erase her. And so that's one reason I would say that it would be worth watching, is just so that her story gets to be to more people.
Is this one of those, like, as I'm making my Easter dinner and I always turn on a show, that I would actually get dinner made, or would I be stopping and because Lamar Odom, you could turn that on, you'd make dinner, and nobody's in the kitchen with me. It's kind of my own time, and I'm usually put a show on, and I could get through that because I could.
I would say your dinner might only get half done because of the mystery of this, because you'll want to see what happens and who's involved and what did they do.
This is a sit down, pay attention,
Probably,
whereas Lamar Odom is...
It would draw you in, I think.
Okay.
That's The Truth and Tragedy of Mariah Wilson. That is on Netflix. All right. We've got a couple of series that came out, but we're going to get to that a little bit later. We still have telephone torture to come. But in our next segment... we're going to get to know Val a little bit better. We're going to ask her questions and put her on the spot. And that's in our next segment. So stick around on The Movie Show. We're talking with Mandy Nelson from Sound Sleep, because we're broadcasting from Sound Sleep in Sandy today. Sound Sleep's got 6 locations across Utah, from as far south as St. George to as far north as Clearfield. And you'll want to find the one closest to you. So here they are: Clearfield, Murray, Sandy. We're at 90th South and 7th East, basically. American Fork, and Provo and St. George. So if you're in one of those locations, or if you live near one of those locations, it's worth it to call and make an appointment with Sound Sleep to find out, 1, if you have sleep apnea, and 2, how Sound Sleep can correct it in a way that doesn't involve a CPAP machine.
That's right. We've got an easier way, a more convenient way, with a custom fit mouthpiece.
And custom is comfortable. I mean, when you come in, Mandy or one of her many talented assistants will do the scan of your mouth, and you'll see, if you haven't done this at the dentist before, it's a really cool process. Yeah. Literally, you'll also notice, I would just suggest brush your teeth before you come, for both the tech's sake and for your own sake. Because if you got a speck, you're going to see it.
It's true. It is. It's pretty cool. So, yeah, digital imaging, so it's an accurate fit to your teeth, fit snug. They're also adjustable. So, I mean, if down the road, if you know, we all get dental work done, most of us, I would say. But, you know, if you get a crown or a filling and it doesn't fit quite right, you can bring it in. We'll adjust it for you as well.
And so this is, so you don't have to have air blowing in your face. You don't have to have power in order to get electricity in order to sleep at night. You don't have to find distilled water in order to sleep at night. And you can sleep on either side without anything wrapping around your head.
Yep. It's a comfortable night's sleep. So give us a call. We're offering the free sleep screening today and the free consultation.
Now let's throw in some other free things.
All right.
We got to do this during the movie show, but if you do, you'll be entered to win
the Sleep Better basket, which is the purple pillow, Minky throw, and a $50 Amazon gift card. But for anybody that books during the movie show, we are giving away free movie tickets. I know.
Free movie tickets. And guess what? Movies are so fun when you're not falling asleep in them.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so wear your plans.
You know, there's some people who's like, I don't remember how that movie ended. Or there's some cloudy areas in the middle of the movie that they may have dozed off for, but that's one of the things that happens when you're not getting the right kind of sleep at night because you have the sleep apnea. And we'll talk a little bit more still as we continue to talk to you, Mandy. But a couple of things that health issues long term that were linked that I just want to remind people. This is why it's so important to get this taken care of. The obstructive sleep apnea increases the risk of heart failure by 140%.
Yeah, I know. It's scary. A lot of people pass away of sleep apnea in their sleep.
The risk of stroke by 60%.
Yep.
And coronary heart disease by 30%. A 2025 study found that untreated sleep apnea accelerates cardiovascular aging.
I had a patient yesterday that I was doing a follow-up phone call with, and he has had his device for 2 weeks. All the health things as well, but he's lost 5 pounds in 2 weeks just from using his appliance and getting better sleep.
Because he's not hungry at the weird times during the day.
And he's got more energy. He's got more energy to function throughout the day.
Yeah.
So he was super excited about that.
And if you're fighting fatigue in the afternoon, some of that's what you eat. I'm not going to lie. But when you go through a day where you don't feel that fatigue in the afternoon,
yeah, it's great.
It's an amazing feeling. 801-716-8672 is the number to call to make that appointment with Sound Sleep. 801-716-8672.
Can we talk about something difficult to discuss? Are you going through a difficult financial time? You have equity in your home, but nobody can help? American Home Loans has created the Bridge Loan Program to use your equity regardless of your credit at this time. The bridge loan can be used to pay debts, collections, IRS liens, divorce settlements, or home improvements. Call at 801-262-2221. That's 262-2221. This loan creates a bridge between now and a much brighter future. After COVID, one of their clients had over $85,000 in credit cards. Their scores were too low to borrow on their home. American Home Loans was able to save them $2,000 a month. And after 8 months, they qualified for a conventional loan and lowered their payments. The consultation is free and confidential. Please call them and see what they can do for you. The number is 801-262-2221. It's 262-2221, or go to AmericanHomeLoans.com. AmericanHomeLoans.com. NMLS 245422, Equal Housing Lender.
Business technology has changed a lot over the last 70 years. But one thing hasn't.
Les Olson is here.
As the years have passed, there's been one constant. And after 70 years and still counting, Les Olson IT is here with the technology and the people to make life easier, more productive, and more secure for your business. Let Les be here for you.
Only one type of burger. For every pallet. Fries are extra. Large in size. We've got the shakes. Going over the brim.
Hey, this is Chris from JCW's. Put a positive, delicious spin on your day at any one of our 5 locations. In Lehigh, American Fork, Provo, South Jordan, or Harriman. JCW's, quality and a lot of it.
You could file your taxes on a basic free service, which is fine. But are you okay with fine? Because when it's your money on the line, do you really want to guess if you missed a credit or hope the math is right? Get the confidence of TurboTax for free right on the Intuit Credit Karma app. Free Fed and free state for simple 1040s only. Around 37% of filers qualify. See details at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for EITC, CTC, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Any Hour Services free furnace sale is going on right now. If you haven't scheduled your free estimate yet, do it now. Call Any Hour Services today or schedule online at anyhourservices.com.
The Movie Show.
You got a friend in me. And when Andy plays with you, it's like, even though you're not moving, you feel like you're alive.
On KSL News Radio.
I've loved that quote since the first time I heard it in Toy Story
good.
2. Well, we wanted to take a minute in this segment because we want to officially welcome Val to the movie show. We just made you jump in with both feet. We threw a million movies at you to make sure that you're watching so we can get your opinion on it. But what do we know about Val?
I don't know. What do you want to know, Andy?
To find out. So, let's start. Tell us just a little bit about you. I think in your first show we mentioned really quickly in one of the segments, but tell us a little bit about why you're a critic and, why do you love movies?
Oh my goodness. So I started watching and remembering watching movies like when I was 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And
What's the first movie you remember watching? That you remember watching?
This is really weird is because we've watched so many, but the one that sticks in my mind is actually not a movie. It's a music video. I kept watching the making of Thriller over and over and over. And I loved
kind of
dance.
A movie. It's a documentary.
It is, but I was like 3-4 years old, like right when it came out. And my mom knew I loved dance. I got into dance because of watching Michael Jackson. And so I would watch the making of that music video over and over because he had choreography, but then you also had the special effects and you also had the filmmaking of it. And I think that just hooked me into seeing that you could put so many elements in one thing. So I was super young, but then I'd sit and watch World War II movies with
so
my
is
grandpa.
13 going on 30 your favorite movie then?
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ouch, Jennifer Garner.
It's fine. It's not my favorite movie.
I don't know how much more thriller you could have put into that movie to appeal to Val.
Fine. It was fine. Yeah, it's a good movie, but that's random and kind of a deep cut.
Because of Thriller.
Yeah, I get it.
That's what I was going for.
But no, I've just loved movies forever. I remember, like I said, watching World War II movies with my grandpa on his Raiders chair, even though he lived in Denver. Like all these little things. I think movies.
No wonder you like juxtaposition.
Yes, I do. I do so much. And that's what, got me into having this affinity for World War II, the history of that and the movies. Therefore, my favorite movie, can I say it? Saving Private Ryan is my favorite movie.
You can say that.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were going to ask me what that
What's your favorite
later.
movie, Val?
Saving Private Ryan is my favorite movie.
What's your second favorite movie?
Oh, that is always so hard. You know what? I think it's Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
What about your 14th favorite movie?
That's a really hard one. Up is my 14th favorite movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
excellent.
There you go. I could have said anything right there, but Up is in my top 20, so there you go.
So your favorite genre is?
I would say historical drama. Yeah. anything to do with history and like drama in there, but I also love action movies and specifically action race car movies.
Would you rather watch a well-done historical fiction or a well-done historical documentary?
Oh, documentary. I love documentaries. I would like to make a documentary at some point. I have actually written 3 documentaries. I went to film school at USC. And because of George Lucas and Steven Spielberg didn't graduate from there, but when I saw Schindler's List and I knew that he went there, but not to film school, and George Lucas was there, like that's why I went. So I left at the age of just 13 days after graduating high school,
I thought
still
you were
in
going to say
braces.
I left at the age of 13.
No, sorry.
Wow, that's a prodigy
I was going to say
right
the age
there.
of 17, 13 days after graduating, Taylorsville High School. My parents drove me out to USC. I still had braces in. They dropped me off. I know my mom probably cried her whole way back home, but she just knew that this was something that I loved so much. Movies have just always been a part of me. And at least 3 years after going to film school, nobody wanted to watch anything with me because I could not turn off that critic part of my brain, which I think is kind of a disservice. I think it's great to know what technically makes a movie, but sometimes those same technical aspects don't make a good movie. You still have to really like the movie. You have to be engaged in the movie. So I can turn that off.
So how do you keep the movie magic then? When you're watching something, that part of the reason we love movies is there's a magic to it. Yes, there's no actual Millennium Falcon flying around in space.
What?
But I'd like to imagine that there maybe kind of is.
You just ruined my childhood right there. No, I can shut that off and say, and I think everything is real, and that's why, when I'm in a movie theater, that's why horror
you think
films.
Everything is real, huh? Interesting.
That's why horror films scare me. But then I go home and I'm like, it's not real. I've been on a film set, but it's still scary. And that's the experience, is that we go to get away. Even though I love documentaries, I'm learning something that I didn't know before, and that's going to push me to learn something else. So it's still an escape for me. But then when I watch it again, I usually like to watch a movie twice before I review it, if possible. The first time I go in and I watch the movie. The second time I go in and then I kind of start pulling things to the side, pulling it apart, not in a bad way, but like, what was this? What did it do? How did they put this together? But it's just, I don't know what I would do without this genre of art.
What movie do you hate that you love?
Oh.
Why do you hate yourself for loving?
Oh. I don't know that I hate myself for loving any movie, but there is, I don't know if you've heard of the movie Uncut Gems.
Yes.
That is such a stressful
Adam Sandler.
movie. I don't hate myself for liking it, but it's so stressful that I don't ever want to see it again. But I'm like, why do I keep telling people to go see this movie? Because it's so stressful, but it's so good. But I don't shame people for liking the things that they like. I have a really good friend, and he loves Sharknado, and he is probably one of the smartest movie people I've ever known. But Sharknado is his thing. I love Fast and Furious, and you can't make me feel bad about it.
Oh, I wouldn't.
I'm just saying, I don't think there's.
I was kind of skeptical, and I didn't see it up through. I think it was when the 8th one came out that I finally watched the first 7. And by the time I was done, my brain was at least 30% Fast and 60% Furious.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for what you were going to say.
But I really ended up liking it, and it's completely ridiculous now. But who cares? It's it's just fun.
Yeah, movies and music, you can look at a movie or hear a song and you will forever remember where you were or who you were with when you heard that song or saw that movie. And sometimes you can see a movie at a different time in your life and either like it or dislike it, after seeing it again. And so it's so strong, and it's so based on what you're going through, and anybody's going to take whatever they want out of a movie or whatever they need at that time. So when people are like, this movie didn't make it for me, you shouldn't watch it, that's kind of what I think we do here. Is we know we don't love horror films, but we know what makes a good horror film. So that's the difference between, I think, somebody that watches movies to pull them apart and really respects a film, is that you and we're not into the blood, guts, and gore, but we know what makes one well. And that's the difference, I think, between us and a lot of other people.
All right. We're going to ask you more random questions. I might throw some more in before the end of the show. But it's good to get to know a little bit more about Val Cameron, our new host. We are broadcasting live from Sound Sleep, and we've only got 30 minutes left, Mandy, because you can only get the deal that you're offering at Sound Sleep between now and 1 o'clock.
Right.
Although for Easter, could we extend it by 5 minutes? Like if they can't call like
4.5.
could you 4.5? All right. You drive a hard bargain, but we'll take it. And what you're offering is a free sleep screening and a free sleep consultation if you call during the movie show. You call, you'll be entered into a drawing where somebody who calls in today is going to win a Sleep Better gift basket because it's Easter weekend. You win a basket.
That's right.
Purple Pillow Minky Throw, $50 Amazon e-gift card.
Oh.
And then if you keep your appointment, then you're guaranteed something.
You're guaranteed movie tickets.
Yeah, you're also going to be guaranteed if you get the
good night's
oral
sleep.
appliance, you're going to get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. I mean, movies, great. Fun to go to. But, I mean...
You can't enjoy the movie without the sleep.
That's right.
Mandy, what was that number that you said of people that have untreated sleep apnea, or number of the people that have sleep apnea versus the number that get it treated?
30 million Americans, and only about 6 million are diagnosed and treating.
So that means 4 out of 5 are not treating sleep apnea and have some version of it.
Yeah.
Think about what that means long-term for health.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about this as you get older, especially, and you have kids. Don't you want to see your grandkids?
Right.
Don't you want to be able to interact with grandkids, etc.? Getting your sleep apnea treated sooner is what's going to help make that possible.
Yeah, and even the short term. I mean, we can talk about long-term side effects, but even short term. I mean, do you like to wake up tired? Do you like to go throughout your day just trying to get through with caffeine or, chocolate to get through your day? No. So we make it really easy. Focus. Absolutely.
Sleep.
Yeah, absolutely. We make it really easy here. So give us a call. You really have nothing to lose. I mean, it can be, when you hear about CPAPs, you hear about having to go sleep over at a hospital. It can be scary. I wouldn't want to go do it either. We make it really easy here at Sound Sleep.
So call 801-716-8672 to make that appointment before the end of the movie show. 801-716-8672.
12:32 at KSL News Radio. I'm Claire Scott. KSL's top story this hour. A Utah man has been sentenced to 10 years to life in prison for sexually assaulting a woman after offering her a ride. Miguel Angel Bernardino picked up the woman from a bus stop in South Salt Lake in 2016. She had asked for a ride to a nearby track station, but instead Bernardino assaulted her and then kicked her out of his car and into the snow. Our top national story this hour from ABC News. One U.S. pilot has been found after a fighter jet was shot down by Iran. The search and rescue effort continues. More from ABC News Chief Global Affairs anchor Martha Raddatz.
U.S. pilots are trained in what is called SEER. If they're shot down or have to eject over enemy territory, SEER stands for Survive, Evade, Resist, and Escape. They, of course, know that the Iranians are looking for them. In fact, Iran put out a message to shoot the pilots if they were found, and a reward was being offered later, they said, if they are found alive. This comes after President Trump claimed in his speech on Wednesday that the Iranians have no anti-aircraft equipment. Their radar, he said, is 100% annihilated.
We'll continue to follow this story through the afternoon. And coming up, sunny and 60s on Easter Sunday. KSL weather is next. KSL News Time, 12:33.
The sources where we get our news matters.
When you listen to Utah's Morning News, we want you to feel the stories are important to you and trustworthy. This is Amanda Dixon.
And I'm Andy Farnsworth. Join us weekday mornings on KSL News Radio.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She could get a deal, book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Imagine all that could happen in 5 years. Jobs change, kids grow up, new memes come and go. But what if you had reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years? Well, thanks to the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you don't have to worry about that part of your future. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to your devices that need the most, that finds and fixes any issues before you even notice. It's like a super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from online threats. You get incredible gaming speeds on multiple devices and no one battling for bandwidth for the next 5 years. All your devices will be working in perfect harmony with the equipment, with no annual contracts, no fees, and no strings. So even though your kid will grow up and you still won't understand 6, 7, the price for your sharp, reliable internet will stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Select plans only.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 9s, brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans at UCCU. Here's Ricky Meese.
We do have delays on northbound I-15 going from Davis into Weber County. They will start at about 650 north in Clearfield up to Sunset. And I'm not seeing what's causing the backup. Looks like traffic is starting to move a little bit better, but it could slow you down a couple of minutes. The rest of your Valley freeways are clear. The Good Feet store, supporting you with comfort no matter what the day brings. Find the location nearest you at goodfeet.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Highs are back up to the 60s this weekend and then 70s next week. Today, partly cloudy and a high of 49. Right now it is 43 and mostly cloudy. I'm Claire Scott from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Listen online at kslnewsradio.com. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
The KSL Movie Show. Telephone torture.
It is that time that's so fun for telephone torture on the movie show, where somebody listening to the live broadcast of this show is going to win a family 4-pack of tickets to Odyssey Dance's Shut Up and Dance Chicago Nights, coming up on April 11th at 7:30 p.m. Our theme, because I don't remember why we picked this theme now.
Because it's Easter and it's food and we're going to be eating.
That's right.
With family.
Now I remember why. Yes. And there's not really a lot of good Easter movies
that aren't the traditional.
That aren't, traditional. Yeah. We try to have fun. I mean, at some point it would be really hard. If you've got a whole bunch of different movies about maybe the Holy Week or Passion or, Passover. You only have a couple of choices for Passover.
You'd know right away what we were talking about.
Or there would be too many.
Right.
Where it'd be hard to find questions that would narrow it down specifically. So we went generic, and we're going to go with a food or animal-related movie for Easter weekend. Now, here's how you win. We're going to give you the clues, and if you know the answer, as soon as you know the answer, send the response to 57500. Here we go. Clue number 1. This movie is the late chef and television personality Anthony Bourdain's favorite food-centric movie. He said, quote, "They got the food, the reactions to food, and tiny details right down to the barely noticeable pink burns on one of the characters' forearms. I thought it captured a passionate love of food in a way that very few other films have."
I didn't know this, and that makes me love it so much more.
That is clue number 1. I love lamb. Clue number 2. I'm just going to ignore that and move on. In France, where this story is set, the movie broke the record for the biggest debut for an animated movie. That is clue number 2. Good clue. And then clue number 3, we'll see if you know your answer here. Marketing tie-ins proved problematic for this movie, as no food product company wanted to be associated with the main character, a rat.
If you don't know what this is, man, it has one of my favorite scenes ever.
We had a guess of a movie that is called The Chef. Is that...
So it's actually called Chef, and that is one of my favorite movies ever. So yes, it's not that movie, but please go watch that movie.
Even though some people pronounce it that way, this movie was not set in Tooele.
No, it wasn't. It's not a Thule movie.
No. But everybody knows the answer to this, and the text correct questions are coming in, so we won't even bother reading another incorrect answer. I was hoping somebody might guess the menu, but
yeah, that's a totally different kind of movie.
No, but it was about food,
Yeah.
and I liked it more than I thought. But the correct answer, Val, is what?
Ratatouille.
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 And we were talking, there was a scene in the movie we were watching last week, A Magnificent Life.
Yes.
Where it's set in France, and on the table is what looked an awful lot like a bowl of ratatouille.
Yes.
Or at least the version that they made in the Ratatouille Disney movie, because apparently there's two kinds.
It's such a staple.
And honestly, the reactions to food, that my favorite scene of that is when the critic tastes it, and it goes to his pupil dilating, and he immediately transports back to being a kid. I related to that so hard. I don't know why, but I just was like, oh, wow, that is exactly what food can do.
I loved that one, and I loved when he's telling his brother like what the best bite is, and he takes the strawberry and he takes the cheese and he puts it together to create the best bite, and he's like, this is what food can do. And I was like, give it to me right now. I want to eat all of it.
And so then you got a job at a culinary school.
I did. I'm living my best life right now. Movies and food.
Movies and food. All right. The correct answer is Ratatouille. Congratulations to our winner. We'll get your name and information. Oh, we already got it. Soren from Salt Lake City. Congratulations. Soren. Wait a minute.
Soren over...
Well, that's Soren over Salt Lake City. I was thinking more like Soren from Star Trek Generations, where he's the long-lived person that is trying to get the yes. Thank you. Congratulations, Soren. You've won the 4-pack of tickets to Odyssey Dance, Shut Up and Dance, Chicago Nights on April 11th at 7:30 p.m. Corey's mad that you got to Nerd Alert faster than she did, is what I'm thinking. Boo, boo. All right. We do have a streaming series that came out this week on Netflix that I tried very hard to watch this with my two daughters, who are big fans of the series ExoKitty. And I could watch it early. I told them on Monday that we could watch it early. Then they proceeded to both go and leave and go somewhere else, but each one the other one promised that we wouldn't watch it without them. So as a result, we got to today, and I didn't get to watch it at all because I couldn't get them both together at the same time.
Well, good thing for you, I watched some of it.
Thank heavens. ExoKitty, for your help, it is a spin-off of the series To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
Which I didn't know.
Which you didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know. I knew nothing about this going in.
You didn't watch like a recap video on YouTube?
No, I went and watched the first episode of the first season, and then I went and watched the first episode of the third season, so I kind of knew what was going on. And it reminds me very much of Emily in Paris for a younger crowd. You've got this young girl who wants to get her first kiss, but also go kind of figure out who her mom was because she didn't really know her mom. And
sounds just like Emily in Paris.
I mean, she goes to a different country, and she's a kind of a matchmaker with all of her friends, even though she wants to have this specific boyfriend. And by season 3, she's on like a different guy that she is like her best friend, that she would like to have a more than a best friend relationship with. And there is some K-pop singing involved, and so you've got a little bit of a musical thing there through through all the seasons. But it's very much kind of this Emily in Paris. She narrates what's going on in her life, and then you get to meet all of these sidekick characters, which all are just have so much. All of these sidekicks, and that's what I think makes a good show, is that they all have their own storyline. They're not just there to be there, right?
Okay.
And so your kids, or you might be into this. Everyone,
yeah, it's your kids. You're like, I'll watch it with you because I don't want to, but I will help you.
But they represent people in our lives, right? We all know this friend, and that's our brother, and that's our sister, and this was our best friend in high school, that kind of thing. So they all tie together.
We project ourselves into it.
So it was a fun little ride. I don't know that I need to watch the rest of it because I don't think it was made for me, but I think that there is, the audience that it's made for is really, really going to enjoy it. It was a lot of fun. It was cute and fun, and it reminded me of the shows I watched when I was that age.
That is ExoKitty, and it's season 3 that has dropped on Netflix. All right, here's some streaming news. We've got to get caught up on some things that, we talked, I think it was last week or the week before, we finally got the early tease of the Harry Potter series on HBO, the first full trailer. And, of course, reaction is mixed. And I think we talked a little bit about it. It's going to be hard for kids of a certain age who grew up on the books, then the movies, to see new actors in the roles.
Yes.
And so if that's the case, again, you don't have to watch it. But I also think that younger generations who didn't necessarily grow up with that, if they want to have their own version of it, hey. And by the way, for all you people that walked out of Harry Potter, especially in 2001, and were like, oh, they left this out, they left this out, they're not going to leave it out of this.
Because it's a series.
Yeah. And although actually one of the things is that the new Draco actor says you're actually going to get to go inside Malfoy Manor and you get an insight. So there's going to be some, I think, extra stuff that maybe isn't even in the book that's
we get to know
additional
these characters more.
material. Exactly. Now, they make a lot of different movies and streaming series. This one is cracking me up, Val. Netflix has optioned the rights to turn Ticket to Ride, the board game, into a movie.
Ticket to Ride?
Yep.
What is this going to be?
I have no idea because they're just in the process, but that is on the table. Did you like X-Files, the original series and the movie?
Yeah.
Have you heard that Ryan Coogler is doing a reboot of it on Hulu?
I did. And because I like Ryan Coogler, I think this is going to be okay. But again, I'm one of those people that I don't know that something that was already amazing needs to be remade, so we'll see.
Yeah, and I'm trying to I had in here who the two leads are going to be. Well, I don't have it. Then they're making a Magnificent Seven series with Matt Dillon, and it's going to be on MGM Plus. So I don't have MGM Plus. I'm excited about the Little House on the Prairie series that's coming, I think, next month.
You just flew right by the Magnificent Seven.
I did.
That's one of my favorite movies, and you just said,
but this isn't that movie.
No, but it's a great storyline.
Well, sure it is. But
okay,
it's on
so Little
MGM
House
Plus.
on the Prairie. Let's go back into that one.
No, Little House on the Prairie. This is what's interesting. I'm actually looking forward to seeing what they do with this because the original Little House on the Prairie was as much a product of its time as it was a product about the time of the story it was telling.
But it also broke some... It talked about things that they weren't talking about on TV at the time. They were ahead of their time, which was great.
Well, I just mean like 1970s.
Yes, very much.
But they've already renewed it for season 2 ahead of season 1.
And it's not even out yet.
Renewal, so they must feel really confident about what it's going to be. If you're a fan of The Bear, it is ending with season 5 at FX. Are you happy that it's ending, or you just love The Bear?
I love The Bear, but I also think you need to know when your time is up and go out on a high, and I'm glad that they're deciding to do it, just like Ted Lasso.
Except for Ted Lasso's coming back.
Boo. Just kidding. It's a spin-off. It's not the same thing.
The Night Agent has been renewed for season 4 by Netflix. This one's going to film in Los Angeles. I've thought all 3 seasons have been excellent of The Night Agent so far, each one a little bit different than the last. And then, do you know who Lamorne Morris is, the actor?
Yes.
He's going to voice Garfield in an animated series that's coming to Paramount Plus.
Huh. I didn't see that coming.
And I know you're a fan of The Morning Show.
Yes, I am. I know what you're about to say.
Jeff Daniels is joining for season 5, but they just added someone else.
He's in Shrinking
Sean
right now,
Hayes
too.
is joining
Sean
The Morning
Hayes?
Show for season 5.
The drama.
Indeed. All right, that is some streaming news. Still got a little bit of movie news, and we still have rapid fire to come. There are a few things that we didn't get a chance to see that we want to at least tell you about that's coming up on this Easter weekend. Again, congrats to Soren for our telephone torture winner from Salt Lake. We're broadcasting from Sound Sleep. Time's running out. We keep saying that.
I know.
But this is we've been talking about correcting your sleep apnea. We've been talking about how the oral appliance from Sound Sleep can do it without a CPAP machine, which presents so many things. Travel with the oral appliance is so much easier. I mean, we're talking, it even comes with its own little storage dish. That's what I call it.
Yep.
But it's maybe 2 or 3 inches in diameter, and is that right? No, it is diameter. There we go. Radius is half of that. I'm trying to remember my geometry. But how easy that is to pack. You can carry it in your pocket. You can put it with your toiletries. You can do whatever. It does not involve a separate suitcase that you have to carry around with you. It involves no search for electricity, no search for distilled water, and you can use it on the plane while you're sleeping. Now think about that.
Yeah.
So
and it's easy to clean.
Snoring.
Right? Do you hate cleaning your CPAP? I hear a lot of people that just don't really do
Are you
it.
supposed to?
Oh, no.
Okay, you're one of those. One of those. Gross.
Oh, I guess I could try that.
Gross. Yeah, but something we haven't like super touched on today is, that it is a medically approved device. So it is recognized by medical insurance. So we do all that.
That's not a small thing.
No.
By the way, that's an
No.
important thing to characterize this.
Yeah. So we check all of that for the patient before they come in. So we have kind of a cost for them when they come in as well. They meet with the specialist. So, and it's also flexible spending approved, HSA approved. So.
And
come
if you
see
call
us.
between now and the end of the movie show, you're entered to win the Sleep Better gift basket.
4.5 minutes after the movie show.
4.5. That's true. So technically you have But also, when you keep your appointment, first of all, you'll find out if you've got obstructive sleep apnea. You'll find out how severe it is because, there are varying degrees of it. But getting it corrected makes all the difference. When I got mine corrected, the doctor told me, you just added 7 years to the end of your life.
Yep.
7 years. Think about that.
Yeah.
How many grandkids could be born in 7 years when you're towards it? Because they come in waves.
They do. Yeah. And just when I see my patients, just even 2 weeks after wearing their appliance, they look different. Their bags are gone under their eyes, the dark circles under their eyes. They feel so much better. So it really does help. So give us a call. You really have nothing to lose. There's no pressure. Just come find out. Check your health better.
801-716-8672 is the number you got to call. Mandy, thanks for having the movie show out here today. It's so fun to talk to you always.
Have a good Easter weekend.
Give them a call and take advantage of their generous offer. 801-716-8672.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that can make your savings go twice as far in retirement, and it's tax planning. That's right. Tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 801-896-9622. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be 6 figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 801-896-9622. 801-896-9622.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice. Advisory services offered through Boss Retirement Advisors, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products and services offered through Boss Retirement Solutions.
I'm here with Monty from Connecticut Quality Water Systems of Salt Lake, an authorized independent dealer. So, Monty, I wonder if you know someone like this. He's the ultimate DIY guy. Restores classic cars, builds his own deck, and even smokes his own brisket.
Sounds like a talented guy.
He is. But get this, his other weekend hobby is troubleshooting his water softener. He's always down there resetting the timer or fiddling with the circuit board.
See, Doug, that's where I draw the line. Smoking a brisket is a great weekend project.
Yeah.
Fixing an electric water softener is just a chore.
Exactly. He thinks he's saved money by buying the bargain brand, but he's paying for it with his Saturdays.
That's the Connecticut difference. Our systems are premium because they are non-electric and fully automated. No computers to fry, no timers to reset. We install it and you get back to the hobbies you actually enjoy.
If you want soft water, do what I did and leave that to Connecticut. It runs on water power, not willpower. Learn more at softwaterutah.com. That's softwaterutah.com.
Any Hour Services free furnace sale is going on right now. If you haven't scheduled your free estimate yet, do it now. Call Any Hour Services today or schedule online at anyhourservices.com.
The Movie Show.
Truly, you have a dizzying intellect.
Wait till I get going.
On KSL News Radio.
Into the movie show this last bit before our Easter weekend, and everybody hopefully getting a chance to be time with family, maybe watch something together. I know a lot of people are going to the Super Mario Galaxy movie, as evidenced by, I got an email during the show, actually, Val, that Super Mario Galaxy movie now up to $122 million worldwide in 2 days.
Wow.
It's going to be another successful Nintendo Illumination.
Who thought Nintendo would make even more money?
Yeah. They have never made any before.
I know, right? This is new for them.
This is, they're going to have to
They're
get
up and
used
coming.
to what do they do with this? All right, there are a few things. There was a movie that we didn't find out about till late in the week that's opening at the Broadway Theater, and it is called Fantasy Life. It stars Amanda Peet, Alessandra Nivola, Judd Hirsch, among others. Andrea Martin, who I like. She's a good character actor. One of those people. Do you know what this one's about, Val?
I think this one is another therapy movie, right?
I believe so. No, actually, okay, here's the official tagline from the studio. An actress falls for the anxious law school student babysitting her kids in this New York set romantic comedy. So there you go.
Little romantic
I do
comedy.
like Amanda Peet.
I
You
love
heard about
Amanda Peet.
her health issues that
No.
she kind of came forward with. Let me just look
Oh,
up real
no.
quick. Amanda Peet health issues. I want to make sure I get them right. She was diagnosed with stage 1 hormone receptor positive breast cancer.
Oh, no. We love you, Amanda.
Yeah, she was diagnosed with it last year. She revealed it early this year.
Okay.
So, and I liked her in that goes back to that's one of my movies that I hate that I love.
What?
Saving Silverman.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not
see,
judging you.
You're giving me some
I'm
judging
not, no,
sounds
I'm
and
not
looks.
judging you.
But
Amanda
she's
Peet's great.
so funny in that. Jack Black and Steve Zahn and
Yes.
Jason Biggs and Amanda Peet. It was just a great combination. So, and she was also in a TV series that I hate that I enjoyed, which was called Brockmire.
Yes, I'm right there with you.
Azaria.
I couldn't believe that I liked it.
All right, so that is called Fantasy Life, and it is playing at the Broadway. Then we have a series coming to Paramount Plus tomorrow. Now, for those of you who are big fans of basketball, the Final Four is tomorrow, and Paramount Plus is debuting a series, which I think it's only 4 episodes.
It's a limited series, yeah.
Yeah, but they followed the University of Michigan and the University of Kansas across their entire season. Now, Kansas had one of the Player of the Year candidates. They went out in the Sweet 16, I think. However, Michigan is playing tomorrow in the Final Four, so their chapter is not going to be finished because they could be playing for or hoisting the national championship by Monday
So you
night.
could watch that and then watch this and get your fill.
Yeah, you could watch this to get the whole season storyline up to their game against Arizona on Saturday night. So if you need basketball on your Saturday, you can watch a documentary and then watch the actual game that the documentary is about leading up to it. So
I'm going to watch the documentary and not the game. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Then we have, and just found out about this, on Angel.com, a brand new, it's a movie. It's called Parables of Jesus, the Good Samaritan. I only have a little bit of information about this. I'm actually hoping to get a chance to watch it.
I've been really impressed with the things they've been putting out over the last 3 years. 2 of their movies that came out last year were in my top 20. So their production value is pretty amazing lately.
Well, The Good Samaritan this is what they're calling it, a grounded, visually immersive reinterpretation of one of the most famous teachings from the New Testament. This is what they say. It leans into, instead of just a simple retelling, they lean into ethnic division, social hierarchy, and moral hesitation. Now, I wish I had seen it myself so that I could say exactly what that represents, but it features Utah-based actors. It's directed by a guy named James Dalrymple. Hoping that I'll get a chance to watch that, but it is streaming on Angel.com as of, I believe, today or yesterday. So if that's something that sounds like one that might be a good watch for a lot of people over Easter weekend. All right, that's everything that's come out. Real quick recap, Super Mario Galaxy movie. Liked it. Wasn't the greatest, but I loved watching it with my kids much more than I would have watched.
We both agreed on so many movies.
I know. In fact, A Great Awakening, the story of Ben Franklin and the Reverend George Whitfield. Is it Whitfield? Yeah, Whitfield.
Not Whitefield.
Because it looks like Whitefield.
Whitfield,
which would
not
have been
Whitefield.
good because he's a preacher, and the field is white.
I was waiting for the joke. I thought you were actually making that a joke.
No, I was just trying to make sure I got it right. But that was really moving, and a story about some of the early days of our country. And then the movie I could not stop thinking about, the drama, which I went from not sure if I liked it or hated it to an A- grade.
I almost think I want to see it again because I may have missed something.
My daughter thought it was a little bit boring, but she also said she was having trouble focusing. I just don't want you to go in thinking this is the drama like the Real Housewives kind of drama.
No,
it's not that drama.
no.
This is like actual, fascinating, the kind of movie you discuss with somebody after you watch it.
Well, they're also saying like it's a dark romantic comedy, and there is romance in it, and that two
And it is
people are
dark.
getting married, and it is dark. But don't go in thinking this is not another Wuthering Heights, where they're kind of saying that it's one thing, but it's not really.
No. So that is the drama. Those were our 3 big releases. Okay. Couple more bits of movie news before we wrap up the movie show today. I do want to make sure that we talk about, did you find this? This came out just yesterday. Meryl Streep is genetically related to Anna Wintour.
What? Anna de Winter?
Yeah, the Anna Wintour.
Yeah. So
she's
I mean,
genetically related to the person she's playing a character based
but
on.
like how many far back do we know? We're not sure.
Well, I'm going to click the link because I just thought that was good enough. This was an exclusive to Entertainment Weekly, and this is maybe why you didn't hear about it.
I mean, they're both pretty amazing, phenomenal women.
All right, let's see what it says. They found a connection through public family trees, historical records, sixth cousins through relatives named Thomas Smith and Elizabeth Kinsey.
Oh, that sounds
There you
fancy.
Go. All right. For Val, Gustavo, Stone, Corey, have a happy Easter, everybody.
FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.